What's going on, people, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions for Game Week 18. The World Cup is done and dusted. I know I missed one game week, but that was because of Christmas. A lot of things have been going on. I've also been sick as well. So, yeah, I missed one, but we move on. Premier League predictions, one of the most popular videos on my channel. Appreciate everyone that joins in on them and gets involved. That is what it's all about anyway, the community, for you guys to come in the comments and talk to each other and not just me. So make sure you do that, and supporting each other's channels. If other people that create watch me, go and follow them as well. First up, starting tomorrow, we've got West Ham versus Brentford. I've gone with a 3-2 away win to Brentford in this one. I think West Ham are struggling a lot this year, and they definitely can turn it around because I think their squad's good enough, but they have to try and get some consistency and some form. And Brentford, I think, have got that more than West Ham at the moment, so I would go with Brentford to edge this one 3-2 away. 8 o'clock kickoff on Friday tomorrow as well. Liverpool versus Leicester. On with a home win for Liverpool in this one. I've gone 2-0. I fancy them to get a clean sheet. I think at Anfield they'll be too comfortable. I know they haven't been at their best this year, but I think this will be a routine win for them. I don't think Leicester are where they were a few years ago. So, yeah, I see Liverpool winning this one 2-0. Starting off Saturday's games, 12:30 kickoff. Wolves versus Manchester United. I've gone with a draw in this one, and I've gone 1-1. Wolves coming off of a win against Everton recently, with the new manager Lopetegui in charge, so they've got that new bounce thing going on with a new manager. As much as we're in form ourselves, I feel like it's away. Wolves are tricky, and it looks like they might be starting to turn a corner in terms of form under this new manager. So it's going to be tricky, I feel, but I think we will get at least a point. So I'm going to go 1-1. 3 o'clock kickoffs get started with Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. And I've gone with a 2-1 home win to Bournemouth in this one because I feel like Bournemouth, especially at their place, are very good. Under O'Neill, who's been made permanent manager now, which I think's rightly deserved. He's done a great job since he took over from Scott Parker. And he's been given the job permanently, which I think he really deserves it. I'm happy for him. I remember watching him as a player as well. I think he's the right man for the job for them. He gets the best out of that squad. So I fancy them. I think they're a little bit more in form and more confident at the moment than Palace are. So them being at home, I've gone 2-1 Bournemouth. Fulham versus Southampton. I've gone with home win for Fulham in this one, and I've gone 3-1, especially if Mitrovic plays. I know he's not fully fit, but I expect him to play at least half the game, which I think will be enough, and Fulham being at home against a struggling Southampton team who I fancy to get relegated, I see nothing more than 3 points for Fulham. So I've gone 3-1 Fulham. Man City versus Everton. I've gone with another home win for City. Haaland's on fire. First player ever to reach 20 goals in the Premier League by January. You can't say anything else with them sort of numbers and stats. And they got a talented squad without him anyway, so he's just the icing on the cake. I've gone with a routine 3-0 home win for City in this one. Newcastle versus Leeds. Newcastle really pushing for that title challenge at the moment. I think they'll drop off slightly near the end of the season. There's still a long way to go. And when I say drop off, I still think they'll probably make top 4. But I think they'll be 3rd or 4th instead of 2nd. But at the moment, in terms of form, no one wants to play them because their confidence is so high. A win recently. They're in terrific form. They've got confidence, belief. Almiron's a fantastic turnaround in his career and what he's achieving. And everyone, their role is, and they do it to their fullest capabilities. And I think Eddie Howe deserves all the credit in the world. 2-0 home win for me in this one, Newcastle. Brighton versus Arsenal. 5:30 on Saturday, the last of the games on Saturday. I've gone with a 2-2 draw. I know Arsenal are top, and it's them to lose it now. I know there's a long way to go. They are the current leaders of the pack, and the pressure will tell at some point, I think. I still think City are favourites. I'd love Arsenal to win it, even though I'm a United supporter, because City have dominated for so long now. It's a little bit boring, and I'd rather it be Arsenal than Liverpool. In that, I think Brighton will cause them difficulties. Brighton are a decent side. They're at home for this. And I think Arsenal, I don't expect them to lose it, but I don't expect them to necessarily win it either. So I've gone with a 2-2 draw. In the last 2 games of this game week for game week 18, on Sunday, first at 2 o'clock, we've got Tottenham versus Aston Villa. I've gone with a 1-0 home win. I think they'll narrowly edge it. I don't think it'll be a very exciting game. I think it'll be an industrious performance from Tottenham. I think they'll just sit in a block and probably play on the counter. I think Villa will have a bit more of the chances and probably more of the ball. But I expect Tottenham to grind out a 3 points in this one, maybe even by a penalty. I've gone 1-0 Tottenham in this one. And in the last game for this week, guys, 4:30 on Sunday, we've got Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. I've gone with a 2-0 away win to Chelsea. Forest severely underperforming for me this year. I predicted them to do the best out of the 3 promoted teams, and it's gone the opposite way. They're doing the worst. And I just think, even though Chelsea aren't in full swing and hit their full capability, I still fancy they have too much quality for Forest, and I expect them to coming off a win recently as well for them. They're coming into this with even more confidence that was much needed. And Potter's still getting used to his team and finding his best 11. And even so, I still expect them to have too much quality and get through this pretty convincingly. So I'm going to go a 2-0 away win to Chelsea in this one. That is it for this game week, guys. Game week 18 Premier League predictions. Let me know who your team has in the comments. Let me know your predictions in the comments as well, guys. Appreciate everyone supporting and subscribing. Make sure the notifications are switched on so you know when I drop videos. And there will be a new player versus player coming very soon. Tomorrow, I'm going to put up my match preview for the upcoming Wolves versus Manchester United game on Saturday. So, yeah, look out for that dropping tomorrow, guys. Appreciate everyone's support. See you soon.